maintain silence during the entire proceeding of the convocation. We are about to show a video highlighting the campus life of IIITG. Ladies and gentlemen, the third convocation of the Institute is about to begin. You are requested to stand up and remain standing till the completion of the invocation song.
भूर्भुवस्सुः तस्य वितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुः तस्य वितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुः तस्य वितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्।
The Chairman Board of Governors IIITG is requested to formally declare the opening of the convocation.
I declare the convocation open.
The Director of the Institute, Professor
Can you
Gautam
increase
Barua,
the volume? I'm not able.
The Director of the Institute, Professor Gautam Barua, will now present the annual report of the Institute for the academic year 2019 to 2020.
Mr. N. Chandrasekharan, Chief Guest of the Convocation, Mr. S. Ramadurai, Chairman, Board of Governors, members of the Board of Governors, members of the Senate, invited guests, graduating students, faculty and staff of the Institute, parents and guardians, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the third convocation of IIT Guwahati, IIT Guwahati. I take this opportunity to thank Mr. N. Chandrasekharan, Chairman Tata Sons, for accepting our invitation to deliver the convocation address. His address has been recorded as he is unable to attend the live function. Today we are holding the third convocation for the fourth batch of graduating students. The annual convocation, which is normally held in May every year, was delayed this year due to the COVID pandemic. Further, as is the norm now, the convocation is being held in virtual mode. 81 students of the institute are going to be awarded their degrees today. Now I'm going to present a brief report on the activities and achievements of the institute during the last year ending on March 31st, 2020. I start by informing you that all classes were suspended on March 15 as per government orders, and most students left for home, leaving about 86 students on campus. The institute started online classes from March 30th in all courses. Admissions. BTech program, students are admitted through the joint entrance exam conducted by the National Testing Agency for centrally funded technical institutions. Keeping in mind the low intake of girls like last year, the institute added supernumerary seats such that girl intake will be 17%. So this year, as you can see from the table, 241 seats were sanctioned, including supernumerary seats for girls. Due to the pandemic, these admissions were delayed and students have joined only on 1st of December. And out of the 241, we have 212 who have joined. The MTech program in CSE and ECE was started in 2018 and the first batch graduated in July 2020. We have increased the intake this year with the introduction of an online mode of admission in CSE for working professionals. And so there are 35 students seats for CSE and 25 for ECE. The PhD program, right from the beginning, the institute has placed equal importance on both teaching and research. PhD students are being admitted every semester, and I'm glad to inform you that 3 students are going to be awarded their degrees today. At the end of March 2020, there were 649 students with the profile as shown in the table on the screen. Now, as of today, of course, after the first year students have joined, the total students are 814. Graduating students. Today we are offering BTech, MTech and PhD degrees to students who have successfully completed their degrees. Altogether, 52 students in the BTech program, 26 in the MTech program, and 3 students in the PhD program, for a total of 81 students are being awarded degrees. My congratulations to all of them. The faculty profile at the end of March was as shown on the screen. There were 48 faculty members with 19 in CSE, 18 in ECE, 5 in Maths and 6 in HSS. The staff profile, there were 28 staff members at various levels. Publications. The number of publications by faculty in the past year can be seen from this table. And as you can see, there is an overall increase in the total number of publications, as well as in the number of journals and number of conference publications. This is a good trend. Of course, the number of faculty have also increased, and we have to maintain this growing trend. And our aim is to have at least 1:2 ratio between faculty and publications. Sponsored research. An important source of funding for research is sponsored research funding. Number of projects have been obtained. New projects in this particular year were a total of 19.84 lakhs, and 3 projects were obtained in the last financial year. We need to have more projects coming in, and we need to work harder here. Ongoing projects. There are 10 ongoing projects, as you can see there, with a total of 2 crores 48 lakhs granted, and they are continuing. And some projects have ended, which I will not go into. The TechWhip 3 is an important project, which in 2017 the institute was selected as to be part of the World Bank funded TechWhip 3 project. with a total allocation of 15 crores. And we have spent money for modernization of academic facilities like campus Wi-Fi, laboratory equipment, furniture, and so on, and library resources. We've also spent money for GATE training, employability skill test and training, and supporting faculty and staff for attending conferences. As of 31st March, 9.92 crores were spent, and the project, which was to end in September 2020, has been extended till March 2021. Lecture series and workshops. Every year, we have number of visitors giving lectures in a lecture series of the Department of HSS, which has been continuing right from the beginning. And there were 48 sessions held this year in this lecture series. Besides this, there were workshops in computer science, in deep learning and its applications, IoT and blockchain, and in electronics and communication engineering, in emerging trends in VLSI design and testing, and learning and optimization for communication control and signal processing. Number of talks also were given by researchers coming from outside. Briefly, in computer science, there was a talk on recent trends in computer architecture and road ahead, word representable graphs. In ECE, there was a talk on performance analysis of massive MIMO systems and equal products of terms in arithmetic progression. In HSS, there were talks on game theory and its application, fundamentals of research in social science. There was a lecture on the Fulbright Nehru Fellowship, and there was another lecture on analyzing language data in a cognitive framework. Now I come to the students' activities. Student community has had ample scope to hone its talent in extracurricular activities, and they were very active in the last year. There are a number of clubs, 16 active clubs, as you can see there, under Technical Board, Programming Club, Robotics Club, Mavericks, Machine Learning Society, Cultural, Literary, Movie, Fine Arts, Quiz, Reading Club, Photography, Music, Dance, Drama, Sports, Outdoor Sports, Indoor Sports, and under Welfare, Eco and Outreach Club, Health Club. Many events took place. I've just listed briefly some of the major events. There were events with respect to World Environment Day, International Yoga Day. Then Independence Day and Republic Day celebrations took place. Swachhata Hi Seva campaign of the government. There was a Jan Andolan program, number of fine arts programs, Khadi Day, cleanliness drive and village adoption. Then there was number of events on Mahatma Gandhi's 50th birth anniversary, as you can see. Then there was a Art of Living work, photography exhibition, under a number of programs under the Fit India campaign, and a Vigilance Awareness Week. And under Ek Bharat, Shresth Bharat program of the Government of India, IIIT Guwahati was paired with the state of Rajasthan, and there are a number of programs regarding with Rajasthani cuisine, Rajasthani dance, attire, etc. that were held. Then there were programs of the Rashtriya Ekta Divas, Constitution Day, National Education Day, blood donation camp, health camp, wellness carnival, career counseling to village folks, plantation drive, music club. Now I briefly talk about some of the achievements of the students in the academic field. 3 students got a Best Poster Award in a symposium. Then Vikas Singh, Samida Singh, and others, and also Gargi, Saurabh Bhatia, and others. Both these groups, 2 groups, got into the finals of the Smart India Hackathon. Then there are 2 groups which also did well in the coding competition, led by Amritanshu Kumar and Sachin Agarwal, and 3rd group, of Srijan Wadhwa. Then Raj Ranjan got listed in the Xiaomi's Bug Bounty Hall because he found a bug in Xiaomi's software. Praveen Kumar got an All India rank of 1 in a Discovery Challenge. And there were other extracurricular achievements too, mainly in coding. Achal Dikshit and Harshit got a second prize, were finalists in the Northeast Hackathon. Achal and Harshit also took part and got 10th rank in the NIT Silchar Hackathon. Ayushman Chauhan won a prize in the GitHub Hackathon. Ujjwal Goel came third in the DD quiz. Sriharsh Eka and Deepak Sigdar and Divakar Bharati got second prize in the AEC group dance competition. Poems of Vivesh Mishra were published in Anushruti Prakashan. Swapnil Aman got a third prize in short story writing competition. And Kundarappu Swaroop and Nimish Agarwal, along with Utkarsh and Amit, they participate in the Spirit 19. Kundarappu got a gold in triple jump and the others got a silver in table tennis. Placement, training and placement. Placement takes place every year. We had a fairly successful placement training session, session. As you can see in the table there were overall 45 students who had applied for the jobs. Total 34 of them got selected. 5 students opted for higher studies, and the overall percentage of placement through the campus placements is 76%. For the MTech too, there was placement. This is the first placement for MTech. Many companies came, but the placement has not been so successful till the end of March, but subsequently it has picked up. The overall percentage was 43% with 21 students registered. I now give a few closing remarks. Last year I had mentioned about the financial difficulties the institute was facing. Unfortunately, the situation has not improved and the COVID pandemic has delayed resolution. There are now 814 students in the institute, and with the provision of double-decker beds in most of the rooms, we can accommodate all of them on campus. Of course, due to COVID, most of the students are not on campus. Our income has come down as we are unable to go for hostel rent, to charge for hostel rent when a student is not residing on campus. However, the cost of cleaning the hostels and provision of security personnel in the hostels continue to be incurred. Due to the delay in admissions of the first-year students, the institute faced a cash flow problem briefly. We have not been able to get a loan from the government agency HEFA to construct more space for hostels. We are seeking a bank loan, but the pandemic has delayed this as we are not sure if construction begins on campus, and even if it begins, can it be sustained. So next July, when the student strength is expected to go up to 972, we will need to hire accommodation outside the campus for some of the students. Our plan now is to start construction for more hostel seats sometime next year. My dear students, you are venturing out to your new life in a challenging environment. I am confident the year spent at IIT Guwahati has given you the confidence to handle this and other similar situations. Self-confidence is the most important aspect when the going gets bad. At the same time, it is very important to be honest in everything you do and to be sincere at all times. Your happiness will be our happiness. I expect you to do us proud. My best wishes go with you. Jai Hind.
The Chairman Board of Governors, Sri S. Ramadurai, is requested to now address the convocation.
Honorable, can you hear me please? Honorable Chief Guest, N. Chandrasekharan, Chairman Tata Sons, respected members of the Board of Governors, Professor Gautam Barua, Director IIT Guwahati, respected members of the Senate, faculty members and staff of IIT Guwahati, my dear students, parents, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you. Let me start by congratulating all the graduating students. It's indeed your day today, and you must be very proud of your achievements and your alma mater, namely the IIIT Guwahati. The COVID-19 has accelerated at a very fast pace during the course of the year and has disrupted life, livelihoods, communities, and businesses across the world. This also includes the education of the students. I think on a global basis, 1.3 to 1.5 billion students and youth across the globe have been affected because of the closure of the schools and the universities. In our country, in India, following the implementation of the lockdown measures, nearly 330 million students have been affected by school closures alone. The use of digital platforms came to the help of all of us, and work from home has become a way of life. From attending meetings and webinars to attending classes, all of us have made the best use of the online medium and the digital medium and the digital platform with the connectivity that is assured we are able to transact or communicate or attend classes. I'm happy to share with you that the IIT Guwahati started their online classes on the 15th of April when we were having a complete lockdown. The normal education was not at all affected. The final BTech and MTech students even had their examinations conducted online successfully, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank the esteemed faculty members and the staff of this institute for making this transition from offline to online very smoothly. In terms of student welfare, the institute hostel was kept open during the lockdown period, which was used by the hostelers for pursuing their PhD and those students who have difficulty in connectivity from their native places. So we accommodated physical presence as well. This was a very welcome step by the institute, and I would like to record my appreciation and congratulations to the institute administration for this initiative, as it must have helped our students who needed the support system very much. I'm happy to let you know that the first year of its eligibility, IIT Guwahati achieved a rank of 66 in the engineering category of Government of India's National Institute Ranking Framework. Again, congratulations, and this is indeed a significant achievement of the institute, as the institute was the highest ranked IIIT amongst all the IIITs under the Ministry of Education. Now, I would like to extend a warm welcome to our Chief Guest, Chairman of Tata Sons, Mr. Chandrasekharan. Even though he is not physically present, he was kind enough to accept my request and our request, and has sent a video address which will be broadcast shortly. Mr. Chandrasekharan is an alumnus of the Coimbatore Institute of Technology and Regional Engineering College, Tiruchirappalli. After graduation, he joined TCS in 1987 and became the CEO and Managing Director in 2009. Mr. Chandrasekharan joined the board of Tata Sons in October 2016 when he was appointed as the chairman of Tata Sons in January of 2017. He is a senior member of the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers and is an active member of the Computer Society of India and the British Computer Society. He was nominated as the chairman of the Indian IT industry body NASSCOM in 2015 April. He also served as the chairperson of the IT industry governance at the World Economic Forum Davos in 2015-16. In addition to being a member of the Indo-US CEO Forum, he is also part of India's business task forces for Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, Japan, and Malaysia. We would want him to physically visit our institute whenever time permits, and it will be a great honor for the institute. All of you graduating students, I know that you will remember fondly the years that you have spent here, and this will shape the future career of all of you. Students learn from each other, they learn from their teachers. In this process, they learn to think independently and thus gain confidence in their abilities to face the challenges in the world wherever you are. I'm sure you will do very well in the life in whatever direction you choose to go. There are ample choices, of which ecology and environment along with business is one of the critical choices. And COVID has shown that very clearly to all of us. We must respect our planet, take care of our planet, take care of the environment, look at the wastage disposal, but economic well-being and job creation and entrepreneurial creation is at the center of everything which each of you do. Please choose whatever interests you and also keep in mind the well-being of those that are held by you near and dear. Wherever you succeed, it will be IIITG's success for sure. And again, on behalf of the governors of IIITG, I once again congratulate each and every one of you who are graduating today and wish you all a very successful career. I wish I was there physically, but due to the pandemic, all of us need to stay healthy and safe. And thank you so much and all the very best.
The chief guest for the third convocation of the Indian Institute of Information Technology, Guwahati, is Mr. N. Chandrasekaran, Chairman Tata Sons. Now I request the chief guest to address the convocation.
You graduate at an unprecedented moment in time. We find ourselves now in a time of great distress. As I speak, there are more than 63 million COVID-19 cases across the world. Nearly 1.5 million people have died. We have to go back over a century to find a calamity so widespread as this one. Partly as a result, an economic crisis has also ensued. For the first time since the Great Depression of the 1920s and 30s, both the advanced and the developing economies are in recession together. Here in India, we enforced the biggest lockdown in history. Everything came to a complete halt. Factories, vehicles, and people. No one knows better than you how hard this has been. But we know from history and also from my own experience that the worst crises contain within them opportunities for profound change. In the past, pandemics have inspired progress in fields as diverse as medicine, urban planning, and architecture. I have no doubt that when this pandemic is finally over, we will also find ourselves on a path to a more promising and prosperous future. Already, the COVID has been a tremendous catalyst. Last year, in my book, Digital Nation, I argued that technology could improve access to key services and create jobs while it did so. In 2020, digital technologies have been adopted at an unbelievable and unprecedented rate. Health and education are opening up to millions. We have never seen our children do online education as much as they did during these months. Our economy, once we pass this crisis, will become more resilient, and we will think like we have never thought before about what a more sustainable economy could look like. This is the springboard into a new India. I know it can be hard to see a jewel in darkness, but here it is. This is the promise that is hidden in this crisis. The new India can be the global leader in R&D, science and technology, AI, advanced manufacturing, and next generation of products and services. We have the right human capital. We have the scale. All we need to do is to make the right investments, and for that we need to start with the fundamentals. When it comes to digital technology, it means reimagining our whole national blueprint. To do this, it is vital that AI and other digital innovations are designed for everyone, not only for the elite. Our vision should extend beyond the software engineers to the farmers, the teachers, the doctors, and the factory workers. Using digital technologies to solve our biggest challenges, the access to health and education, as well as to jobs, will create markets that did not exist before. And those markets will in turn create millions of new jobs. Most importantly, these jobs will be for low and middle income workers who can substantially benefit from technology that augments their roles. I call this approach the bridgeal approach because it uses technology to bridge the nation's two greatest challenges: access to services and jobs. COVID-19 has made the case for digital much more vividly than I ever could. It has laid bare the shortcomings of our health service and puts millions of jobs at risk. At the same time, the pandemic has shown that digital solutions can improve access by augmenting the work that importantly still must be carried out by people. Aside from the digital acceleration, the pandemic has also proven that it can help us to conjure new model of Indian growth and with sustainability at its core. Lockdown offered a tantalizing glimpse of unpolluted cities which were a moment of joy in difficult times. As we build back, we need to do so as cleanly as we can. COVID-19 can prompt us to invest in R&D in future growth sectors such as renewables and future mobility. Within 2 decades, nearly 20 new energy sources could likely be powering the global economy. Already, we are seeing exciting innovation. Microgrids, for example, can power entire village and towns, serving households, businesses, and even public institutions like healthcare clinics and schools. This is the future of affordable, reliable, and clean electricity, not just in India, but in other parts of the world as well. Given where India is in our economic development curve, this is also a great opportunity to create jobs through building a green economy, whether through solar installation, microgrids, sustainable cooling, or even better waste management. None of this will happen without a dramatic shift in mindset. I hope you all know how uniquely placed you are at this moment. You have it within your power to shape the destiny of this country. And given the education you have received, that you have worked so hard for, you can be leaders who can make all the difference. As you step out into the world, remember that the crisis has taught us 3 important lessons. First, we have actually proven that it is possible in a few weeks to put an economic system of the world on hold everywhere. Something always thought it is impossible. Second, the speed with which people respond and adapt to adversity and new challenges, whether with hunkering down and distancing themselves or working from home or learning from a distance, that speed is faster than we realize. We are more capable than we comprehend. Third, the pandemic brings to reality something we have long spoken about, that the risks that we face today are truly global in the era of connected economies, supply chains, global travel, and technology penetration. Indeed, the hardship of the pandemic has been tempered by heartening acts of collaboration. Companies, citizens, and governments have come together in ways that before the pandemic would have been hard to imagine. I hope this presages a new era of individuals and organizations more readily willing to join forces in pursuit of greater causes. In a manner of speaking, I compare this moment to walking on a bridge. We are not sure what is on the other side of the bridge, but we do know we can be excited about it. And the reason we know that is because we, or should I say you, can set our course. The pandemic, as I have said, is a tremendous opportunity for India to change and better itself. This opportunity is your opportunity, for the world is being rethought and soon it will be rebuilt. Never before has there been such an opening for bold new ideas. Because unlike the nations and corporations weighed down by a history of doing things in a certain way, you are at the beginning of your journey. Your thinking is unconstrained by habit or convention. It's why, though I am the one giving advice to you today, it will soon be me turning to you for guidance. For now, congratulations to you and your families and to your teachers and mentors who help you reach this special milestone in your lives. Enjoy the moment. I look forward to hearing about your successes and your leadership in the years to come. Well done to all of you for what you have achieved so far, and good luck to you for what you will achieve next. Thank you, and we are all relying on you.
The presentation of degrees by the director will now begin. We start with the presentation of the PhD degrees in Computer Science and Engineering. The Associate Dean Academic Affairs will present the PhD degree recipients, and the director will confer the degrees.
I present to you, sir, Nazadul Haq Sultan and others, including those in absentia, who have completed the prescribed course of study and have been found fit for the award of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Computer Science and Engineering, and pray that they be admitted. The certificate template of the PhD degree is shown on the screen.
Vested in me as the director of the institute, I admit you all, including those in absentia, to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of the institute and charge you to be worthy of the same.
We proceed with the presentation of MTech degrees in Computer Science and Engineering for the year 2020. The head of CSE will present the MTech degree recipients, and the director will confer the degrees.
I present to you, sir, Aratrika Shaha and others, including those in absentia, who have completed the prescribed course of study and have been found fit for the award of the degree of Master of Technology in Computer Science and Engineering and pray that they be admitted. The certificate template of the MTech in CSC degree is shown on the screen.
Vested in me as the director of the institute, I admit you all, including those in absentia, to the degree of Master of Technology in Computer Science and Engineering of the institute and charge you to be worthy of the same.
We proceed with the presentation of MTech degrees in Electronics and Communication Engineering with specialization Communication and Signal Processing for the year 2020. The head of CSE will present the MTech degree recipients for 2020 and the director will confer the degrees.
I present to you, sir, Vilas Goswami and others, including those in absentia, who have completed the prescribed course of study and have been found fit for the award of the degree of Master of Technology in Electronics and Communication Engineering with specialization Communication and Signal Processing, and pray that they be admitted. The certificate template of the MTech in EC degree is shown on the screen.
The authority vested in me as the director of the institute, I admit you all, including those in absentia, to the degree of Master of Technology in Electronics and Communication Engineering and charge you to be worthy of the same.
We proceed with the presentation of BTech degrees in Computer Science and Engineering for 2020. The head of CSE will present the BTech degree recipients and the director will confer the degrees.
I present to you, sir, Ayush Nirman and others, including those in absentia, who have completed the prescribed course of study and have been found fit for the award of the degree of Bachelor of Technology in Computer Science and Engineering and pray that they be admitted. The certificate template of the BTech in CSC degree is shown on the screen.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as the director of the institute, I admit you all, including those in absentia, to the degree of Bachelor of Technology in Computer Science and Engineering and charge you to be worthy of the same.
We proceed BTech degrees in Electronics and Communication Engineering for 2020. The head of ECE will now present the BTech degree recipients for the year 2020 and the director will confer the degrees.
I present to you, sir, Allu Rudvik and others, including those in absentia who have completed the prescribed course of study and have been found fit for the award of the degree of Bachelor of Technology in Electronics and Communication Engineering, and pray that they be admitted. The certificate template of the BTech in ECE degree is shown on the screen.
Vested in me as the director of the institute, I admit you all, including those in absentia, to the degree of Bachelor of Technology in Electronics and Communication Engineering and charge you to be worthy of the same.
The President's Medal is awarded to a graduating student of a batch with the highest CPI in her or his BTech program. The registrar will announce the award of President's Medal for the year 2020. The chairman BOG is requested to award the medal.
For the year 2020, the President's Medal is awarded to Saurish Gunesh Thikane from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering.
The chairman's medal is awarded to a graduating student of a batch with the highest CPI in her or his BTech program, except for the program the President's Medal winner is from. The registrar will announce the award of chairman's medal.
For the year 2020, the Chairman's Medal is awarded to Avinash Jain from the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering.
Now take their pledge. Pledge by graduating students to be led by presidents and chairman's medal winners. Sorry, please start.
I, Saurish Gunesh Dekre, a graduate of the Indian Institute of Technology, in the discharge of my duties. I shall utilize my knowledge
I, Saurish Gunesh Tikane, a graduate student of the Indian Institute of Information Technology, Guwahati, hereby pledge that I shall always endeavor to scrupulously honest to the discharge of my duties. I shall utilize my knowledge, experience, and skills to the best of my ability for the service of society and of the country, and for the glory of the institute. I shall uphold the dignity of the individual and the integrity of my profession in all circumstances. So, the Chairman Board of Governors is now requested to formally declare the closing of the convocation. The Chairman Board of Governors is requested to formally declare closing of the convocation.
On behalf of the chairman, I declare the convocation closed.
All are requested to stand up for the national anthem.
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल कालभंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तब जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।